Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie. I see you work at Arby's. Never too supersized. Hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical. On the block, I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix. Call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising. I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss a ring, but you can never touch the crown. I spoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down.
Do you agree that there's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobism, Islamophobism, deadbeat dadism, white supremacism, and all the other isms? Destiny, that's a woman's name. You were raised by your daddy and mama. That makes you half man and half woman. You are a beta. You're not a real man, beta. I just have one question for ya, beta. There's just one thing I want to know. Destiny, do you love all people? Do you really love the blacks? Destiny, do you love black people? Why can't you just answer the question? Destiny, do you love all people?
System, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot, then the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said certified freak.
There's some
7 days a week.
There's some
Wet ass P word. Make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like size it up? I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, oh, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get my hands around your throat.
What rolls downstairs, a motor in pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog? What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's long, long, long. It's long, long. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's long, long. It's better than that, it's good. Everyone wants a long. You're gonna love it long. Come on and get your long. Everyone needs a long.
Log from Blammo.
You what is on my
It's another Beer Word broadcast. Let's go! How's it going, everybody? How you doing? It is Thursday, September 15th. And we got ourselves a great stream planned for you today. I'm so excited. I hope you're excited. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're feeling fine. I'm Be Weird. I'm going to be bringing you some news that's been popping off today. We've got the R.Kelly trial. We also have some crazy footage coming out that just got released from the LAPD. Big case happening. And even crazier footage of the LAPD than raiding a commissioner. So it's going to be a good stream. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I hope you're all well caffeinated. I got myself lots of coffee. I had myself some delicious cheese bread with apples in it. It's apple season. So go to your local bakery. Look for apple turnovers. I had some delicious ones. 2 of them yesterday. So good. It's a beautiful day here in Montreal. It is like 10 to 12 degrees about. And yeah, I think I'm going on for another hour walk. My bike is broken, so I've been taken to walking downtown, and it's honestly really lovely. Montreal is such a beautiful, walkable city. There was like this really incredible, impactful piece in like Facebook. I just like some poet that I know who put up this, just wrote something on Facebook, and it's so well written. It's in French, and I'll translate it. But damn, man, such a good writer. He just gets his point across so well. So we might have that as a palate cleanser. And yeah, the rail union strike, that might be popping off tomorrow. So we're gonna try to get ourselves as aware, educated about it as possible. I heard that Bernie Sanders did a thing to support the workers. So cool. Yeah, let's go see what's going on with that. And what else? I don't know. So much content planned. There's the Alex Jones trial to catch up on. Ah, man, I just geez, so much. The R.Kelly thing is definitely one of the biggest stories, so we're definitely going to start with that. Other than that, there's been some interesting, I just last night I was on Twitch, and I was checking out Rhizome's stream, I was checking out Jay Marianne's stream, and they're just so ahead of the game. I have so much more to learn. For example, Rhizome had this really good idea where he created all these alerts, all these really good clippable moments from the internet. And when chatters donate bits, sometimes random numbers like 404, well, that's not random, but 999 or 363 or whatever, it would play a clip. And I really want to learn how to do that. That sounds so cool. That sounds so brilliant. And I think that's just like a Fossabot thing, I guess, right? I don't know. I want to figure that out as soon as possible. It sounds like such a great way to, I don't know, interact with y'all. And we also have, I think, La Poésie Partout tomorrow. So I'm thinking of maybe streaming that. That could be interesting and be like a French poetry stream. Be a bit offbeat. And I got a new computer. I got a new MacBook Pro, everybody. I'm super psyched. So that might mean the return of rich food for poor folk, which, yeah, could be a lot of fun. Maybe on Sundays. Sundays are a really good day for cooking because it's like you're prepped for the week, right? And I have a lot more time on my hands. School is like in the evening, so I have the days to sort of make food and prep and do delicious things. So yeah, maybe we can bring back rich food for poor folk. Always had a lot of fun producing that, even if it's not as well watched as like Just Chatting or Politics or whatever. And yeah, gotta think of some collabs to do. But let's blast off. We blasting off. Oh yeah, and Jay Marianne had an interesting program. I might get it. It seemed really fun. It was like maybe a $20 game that you buy on Steam, and it creates all these little animated sprites on the bottom of your Twitch stream so that the chatters can sort of like interact, move around, jump, dance, set off explosives, little bombs. So I think that stream avatars is what it's called. Everybody loves it. The reviews are overwhelmingly positive. So I thought I could maybe get into that. Maybe we can make ourselves some animated emotes. All sorts of good ones. So yeah, just want to find some ways to like push this forward. We're gonna get into our main story, which is that R.Kelly he's going to jail for life, man. He's done for. He'll probably appeal, but let's cover the story, and then there's some interesting backstory with Dave Chappelle. Yeah, he was convicted of 6 charges. We're gonna get like what the main story is, what the facts are, and then I've got some backstory of a time apparently when R. Kelly confronted Dave Chappelle about a skit he did. So I think that could be an interesting, some interesting filler before we get on to so much content. I'm honestly like, I gotta do like schoolwork at some point. Oh yeah, and Max, get this. 30 seconds after I ended stream, Heem rated me, or failed to rate me with his audience of 90 people, and Rad Hombre, who had just rated him with like 50 people. So I ended stream about a minute before 150 people came in. Pretty the last time that happened was like months ago. I was just like, oh no, oh god, oh jeez, oh no. Yeah, the numbers really playing with my psychology, man. I hate it. I want to try to stay focused on content, but the fact is, like, if there's less than 3 to 5 people in the stream, like it's bad for the channel, essentially, right? Like, the algorithms are like, he's consistent and there's engagement. There's not a lot of people that, you know what I mean? So right, so there's like this balance to play between being available for Twitch interaction, but also like building a community that stays, like, that has enough numbers that Twitch recognizes it, essentially. If you're streaming for no one or just a few people, like, it's bad for you, essentially, is the logic from, God, what is his name? He's like a YouTuber who explains a lot of this stuff. He's super nerdy. Oh, it's gonna bother me all day. He's got a really boring haircut. Anyways, so I'm like thinking about that. It's like, all right, okay, I got a lot of stuff to do. Let's just move on with my life. You know, it's a 1 hour stream instead of a 2 to 4 hour stream. And then I just get this itch. This itch in the back. I'm like, I wonder if Heem's live. Let's go watch him. And it just ended. And I'm like, oh, and I see the chat. I'm like, fuck. So, lesson learned, I guess. Like, there's this like, this saying, which was, if you're not extraordinary, if you can't make extraordinary content, which, if I'm being honest, and if you can't make extraordinary content, do extraordinary hours, I think was the logic. And it's like, oh god, I don't have the time for that, man. I got music to write, I got shit to do. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right, Dan? So, like, it's tough. Like, if I stay I deleted like 20 tabs of content. I actually had so much good content lined up. Like, oh, Dan, that was a big clip. Wish I had talked about that. And like part of the struggle I'm having right now, especially I get into my 30s, is that like I've gone in so many different directions. I feel so spread thin, like guitar, music, Twitch stream, poetry, fucking running live events, doing school. And I'm looking at people who are succeeding and they're just like doing the one thing. They're just like, I'm just doing the one thing. When people search on the internet, they don't search variety, they search music, and they find that one person who just does music, who does it really well. And what I love isn't one thing. What I love is that synthesis, that space of let's do this, let's do that, let's combine the Rainbow Goblins comic book with Masayoshi Takanaka's album, The Rainbow Goblins. Let's mix and match. Let's remix. And it's such an odd space. It's such a non-searchable space. So I'm really trying not to let the business and marketing side of this rot my brain, because it's like such this unfortunate aspect of it. So when you watch Rhizome do it so good, where he's like, yo, capitalism can be fun, everybody. Let's just all be aware of what's happening here and let's just meme on it. And I'm like, okay, all right, I get that. I can see how that works. So I want to try to come up, maybe like it's a weekend stream, like Friday or Saturday when we're watching Gordo, when we're done with Gordo. But we'll try to build some of those clips of like for instance, what Lizzie's the new Prime Minister of Ukraine, of England, her curtsy. We'll just get that, or any kind of really good clippable alerts, and start building that bit list, because it seems so innovative. Just Rhizome's on the cutting edge. I can't speak highly enough about him. So yeah, let me show you what I'm talking about. Also YouTube, man. YouTube's killing my vibe. So yeah, check this out. He's got an alert menu. It's so clever. So you donate specific numbers or whatever, and it plays a clip. Like, how did no one else do that before? Is he the first? Ah, it's so good. So good. Like, part of what this space, I think it is, at least what I think it is like being a information conductor. A content conductor. There we go. A content conductor. And to do that, you have to be like finger on the pulse, and like aware of what other people are doing and aware of what people are memeing. And not only is he doing that, but he just understands the technology so well. So I want to, if you want to do what you love, usually imitate the masters, essentially. Like, what is it? Imitation is the highest form of flattery. So I want to work on that. I think that's a really fun, great idea. That sort of pushes the stream forward, makes it more interactive. And yeah, I guess if I get more than $17, then I will absolutely buy that stream avatar thing. That seemed really fun too. That seemed like a really fun thing. But let's get to the main segment. I've been talking way too much. Let's get to the news. All sorts of stuff has been happening. It is, as always, normal country vibes, everybody. Let's take a look at the R.Kelly trial. I am hearing that he was convicted, so let's see what that means. What's up with that? Also, how you doing, Max? How's it going, Dan? R.Kelly found guilty on 6 counts of child P-word. Can I say that? Child pornography and federal trial. It's like, why so evil? Nice. Poggers. Nice. Let me just get the music back going. Oh, and then I forgot to blast off. Yeah, we blasted off on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, feel free to I don't know what you do on Twitter. The things that make it succeed. Help the robot see the thing. All right, music back on. Oh, unless we actually have an audio clip here. Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Superstar R.Kelly.
A federal jury in Chicago convicting singer R.Kelly on child pornography charges. Shaquille Brewster is following this story. Shaq, what do we know?
Shaq.
Lester, a federal jury in Chicago finding the former R&B superstar R. Kelly guilty of 6 counts of sexual exploitation and enticement of a minor, including 3 counts of child pornography for making videotapes of himself sexually abusing his 14
Cheese pizza, chat. Cheese pizza. That's not good.
18-year-old goddaughter. The jury, taking about 11 hours to deliberate, they acquitted Kelly of
11 hours? Bro. They're like, yeah, he did this. Yeah, he definitely did. They didn't even need a hotel.
7 other counts, including conspiracy to obstruct justice. Woo! Prosecutors argued the singer had sex with minors on numerous occasions and recorded the alleged assaults. R. Kelly's attorneys tried to discredit the witnesses.
You took recordings of your sex crimes? Oh, you absolute moron.
Pointing out many had received immunity deals. But for the singer, it's another federal conviction and a continued fall from grace. The 55-year-old is already serving a 30-year sentence.
Sheesh. 30 years. He's done for. That's game over, chat. Disgraced singer R. Kelly was... Oh, no, go away. Also, like, dark mode is not having fun. Disgraced singer R. Kelly was convicted Wednesday on 6 counts. Who said he lured them into sex acts while they were underage, and accusations that he conspired to intimidate and bribe witnesses. Man, the decision by, I guess if you're like that far in, you're gonna do anything and everything, right? It's just like it's all or nothing at that point. The decision by a federal jury came on the 2nd day of deliberations. It came 1 year after Kelly was convicted in New York on charges of federal racketeering and sex trafficking. He is serving a 30-year prison sentence. I thought I had some deja vu. I'm like, didn't we do this already? Don't we already know that R. Kelly was like a bad guy? He's a P word. You know what I mean? Like, Kelly had faced 13 counts. Sheesh. Which means he only got charged. Wow, less than half of them. Bro, yo, thanks Max. Thanks for the... Oh, what do you call that? Signal boost. Kelly had faced 13 counts, including charges of sexual exploitation of a minor, receipt of cheese pizza, enticement of a minor to engage in unlawful sexual conduct, conspiring to obstruct justice, and conspiring to receive cheese pizza. He was acquitted on 7 counts, including all of the charges related to conspiracy. So that's good. It's good to know he's not a conspirator. He was just an accused conspirator, everybody. Kelly had been accused by prosecutors of engaging in sex acts with 5 minors and recording some of the abuse on multiple videos. During the trial spread across 5 weeks, jurors heard from several of Kelly's alleged victims who all testified that they were underage when Kelly began sexually abusing them. Kelly, whose legal name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was tried alongside 2 co-defendants, former business manager Daryl McDavid and associate Milton June Brown. McDavid and Brown were both found not guilty on all charges? Wait, what? Both men were accused of conspiring with Kelly to rig the outcome of the singer's 2008 criminal trial in Cook County, which involved a video recording of Kelly allegedly sexually abusing a minor, according to the federal charges against them. Prosecutors centered their case around a star witness, identified by the pseudonym Jane in court, who identified herself as the person in a 26-minute videotape sent anonymously to the Chicago Sun-Times in 2012 that allegedly showed Kelly performing sex acts with an underage girl. NBC News has not viewed the videotape. Parts of it and several other recordings purportedly depicting Kelly engaged in sex acts with minor were played during the trial as the prosecution presented its case. Wait, what? Damn, is that where this all started? And he didn't get convicted in that? Or no? Huh. Kelly was previously tried in Cook County on cheese pizza charges related to the same video and was acquitted. Jane refused to testify at that trial. In emotional testimony, Jane, now 37, said the singer began having sex with her when she was 15 and he was in his 30s? Bro, that's dirty. He's been doing this for a long time. Yeah, it was one of those like open secrets, eh? Like in the entertainment community. As far as I understand, I mean, that's why Dave Chappelle could do a skit on it. And continued to do so hundreds of times before she turned 18. She also testified that he exerted an intense psychological grip on her that caused her to isolate herself from her parents and keep the relationship secret to remain loyal to him. Oh, man. She testified that she decided to come forward a few years ago because she became exhausted with living with his lies. Yeah. Damn. Man, fuck that guy. Honestly. So when I did some digging, there's so much. There's obviously this story that we just learned about. Chicago police investigate R. Kelly in sex tape from 2002. A 26-minute videotape sent anonymously to the Sun-Times last week shows the singer-songwriter performing various sex acts with the underage girl. Kelly was the halftime act at Soldier Field during the Bears-Eagles game about 3 weeks ago, singing the world's greatest single from the recent movie Ali. Wow. Doesn't that bring you back, chat? So her name is Aaliyah. Wait, allegations of sex with underage girls have dogged Kelly throughout his career, including his brief marriage to his then 15-year-old protege, Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash in August? What? 'Cause... Wait, whoa, man, there is so much history with this that I did not know. Like, look at this. Dave Chappelle recalls R. Kelly's reaction after infamous sketch. Now, that was the part I knew that we were going to cover, but I didn't know that Gloria Allred held a press conference in response to threats allegedly made by R. Kelly to Faith Rogers, who said she had a relationship with Kelly when she was 19 years old. Of course, Gloria Allred. Let's go. She's like a champion of women's rights in the legal field, and has been for years. She's won a bunch of big cases. All right, let me just drop this.
Termed the king of R&B, and taking a stand against R. Kelly, someone who's been termed the king of R&B and is loved by many, has not been easy. I decided after a great deal of thought that I should speak my truth, because it is time I stand up for myself. I trusted him and he betrayed my trust. Once I recognized my worth, I knew I had to walk away.
We have evidence that Mr. Kelly has engaged in efforts to intimidate and retaliate against Faith Rogers. We are here today to let Mr. Kelly know, in no uncertain terms, that he cannot and will not intimidate his alleged victims into keeping silent about their allegations. Mr. Kelly, you may soon join the ranks of Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein.
Bro.
Just as they have been and are being held accountable for their actions, you also must be accountable.
Let's go. You're here.
You can look forward to a legacy which will not be your music, but rather the pain and suffering that you inflicted on the many vulnerable teenagers and young women who claim they were victimized by you.
What would you say to him if he's watching right now?
Time's up.
Yeah, time's up. Let's go. Get it. That's right. Dave Chappelle said he got some scary blowback after the memorable Chappelle Show bit that mocked R. Kelly back in 2003. Chappelle imitated Kelly as part of his Comedy Central series that ran from 2003 until 2006, making light of an alleged sex tape where Kelly supposedly urinated on an underage girl. So that's the part I knew. Like, I knew that, like, R. Kelly and peeing on young girls was, like, fused together as one thing in the public consciousness. And this must be why. It was because of this story. It's really interesting to sort of pull on that one thread through time and, like, find, you know, print journalism oftentimes where the knots are in the thread, you know, the pieces, the connective tissue. Okay, so Chappelle did some skits about the thing. He said he played as Chappelle. Chappelle played as Kelly and crooned lyrics like, "Said your body is a porta potty." The week that sketch came out, we was in Chicago at a Common show. Chappelle recalled on stage in video shared by TMZ. And his dude busted my room. Yo, R. Kelly coming in aggro. Damn. Bump up my mic? Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Max. Yeah, good call. Good call. Good call? Hey, what the fuck? How about this? Oh, I was recording earlier. There's like different settings for streaming and singing. I really want to finish Tear Down the Statues, man. I really want to finish it. It's such a hard song to sing. Like, it's just like one of those things where it's like you write something and you're like physically struggling to do the thing. And you're like really frustrated right now. I want to get this song done. Anyways, that's another thing. At some point, it would be nice if I can, you know, like do my music production while streaming, because that would be two birds with one stone. I find that stuff wildly entertaining, like watching someone try to compose a song or like mix a track. But making it work with only one audio card is complicated technologically. So here we are. Can we actually see?
I don't know him at all. I never met him.
Never met
him. Did you tell him? Did you tell him when you did the skit on Chappelle's show? Oh yeah, I remember that. When you saw R. Kelly, he said something to you. What did he say to you? He didn't say it. Look, we was in look. The week that sketch came out, we was in Chicago at a Common show. And his goons busted in my room. I don't know if it was his goons, but them goons, they sure did like him. What did he say about the video, son? He said, "How you gonna do a video of me peeing on bitches like that?" And I said, "How you gonna do a video?" My mind's telling me. And his goons busted in my room. I don't know if it was his goons, but them goons, they sure did like him. What did he say about the video, son? He said, "How you gonna do a video of me peeing on bitches like that?" And I said, "How you gonna do a video?"
How are you gonna make a video? That's actually really funny.
My mind's telling me no.
Oh, okay, yeah. It looks like TMZ is blocked on YouTube. Sorry, Dan. We'll refresh your stream if you wanna. God damn it, man. Man, YouTube sucks. Actually kills the stream. Go away, YouTube. You're being a butt. Dave Chappelle said R.Kelly and his goons bum rushed him over his famous skit mocking the singer's urination video, but Dave's sense of humor definitely saved the day. The comic hopped on stage at the WeHo Improv Monday night with his friend and Chappelle's show co-star Donnell Rawlings. Dave revealed Kelly and his crew approached him in Chicago during a common concert and made it clear that they were pissed about his Piss on You skit. Dave says things never got physical, but he says Kelly grilled him about the skit and asked how he could have possibly done such a thing. The irony was not lost. Who had the joke? Yeah. Lamau. The outlet reports the comedian took the stage. How are you going to do the video of me peeing on girls like that? And I said, how you going to do the video? R. Kelly wanted to fight Dave, Brennan said Tuesday on the radio show The Breakfast Club. He literally his goons stepped to Dave in Chicago. And Dave's goons intervened and the goons negotiated. Yo, why are you saying there's copyrighted audio? Go away, YouTube. Please, you're killing my vibe. Kelly is currently embroiled in allegations of sex abuse resurfaced. Oh, right. So there's this series, Surviving R. Kelly. Man, Netflix bringing it. So, damn. I didn't know that. Right. And here we got a good segue. We've got like the Netflix series. And then apparently during the trial, R. Kelly's lawyers tried to bar jurors from like, if you've seen this very damning Lifetime docuseries, I don't know, it seems like you'd be kind of biased against me. Doesn't seem fair.
Mute R. Kelly! Mute R. Kelly! Mute R. Kelly! Mute R. Kelly!
Prosecutors called some 45 witnesses to the trial to testify to Kelly's years. 45 witnesses? Wait, 40? Did I read that right? No. Holy shit. 45 witnesses, bro. The potential jurors who watched part of Lifetime's Surviving R. Kelly docuseries will not be barred. Ooh, that's probably when his lawyers knew that this was not going to go well. Yo, that's a bad sign. It's like people have made money just telling the story of what might be true about you, and it's so damning. Your lawyers don't want to make sure like no jurors have seen this film. It's crazy. The attorney argued that they would not have the ability to separate the allegations in the documentary and the evidence presented at trial. No one, quote, no one, even a well-intentioned person, would be capable of purging his or her brain of information obtained through the docuseries or separating information learned from the documentary that was never subject to cross-examination from testimony introduced at trial on the same subject matter. She added that the 2019 docuseries features interviews with a number of witnesses who prosecutors intend to call at the trial, including Lisa Van Allen and Gerhonda Pace. There is substantial overlap between the subject matter of this prosecution and the subject matter of the documentary. Oh, no. Sounds like the journalists did their job right. On Monday, Leinenweber denied the request, saying the series aired years ago and it wouldn't make sense to bar someone if they'd only seen part of the documentary. So here is a pretty good image. It's a pretty cool image, chat. Look at that. Look how orange he's looking. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this part. Thanks to the new follows from, I think this is from J Mari on stream. There was IZ Kiyoshi Warrior. That's from Avatar, right? And Cycrum. Nice, poggers. Bunch of little weird ears. I think that's what we're going with. That's what you're all called. You're all a bunch of weird ears, which are a type of Pokemon technically, which I think is kind of based. I think that's kind of cool. But when I looked for like any gifs of weird ears, I couldn't find any. Oh, I should animate this. Okay. Oh, I got a good idea. Can I get it transparent? Oh, art stream. When? Let's go. WebP. Go away. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That could be fun. Because when I went looking for gifts, like they all sucked. They all suck so hard. It's just like, ugh. How do you make gifs? I think the only way I actually know how to make a GIF is in Scratch. So I think I would be like, I gotta like strip it. Y'all know Scratch? Oh man, do we just change this and become an art stream real quick while I do this? I just want to make, I'll make a little. Did you start making Pokemon in Blender for practice? Yeah, I was toying around with Blender last night. And it's just so overwhelming. It's just, like, I have so many complex programs I have to learn. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's just like a lot of stuff. A lot of things to do. But there should be a way. Yeah, I just want to try. I just want to see real quick. Yeah, I want to see real quick if I can make like an animation. We'll just do a little quickie animation. We'll see how quick I can do it in Scratch. If I'm thinking clearly, I need to grab this. Start this photo. I'm just trying to strip it of its background so that I can remove background. There we go. I can do simple stuff in Blender if there's any 3D assets you offer stream, like a spinning noodle. Oh, I would love that. I always wondered how it's done. I did one stream. I had my niece, it came through, my young niece, and I'm like, I should stop covering the news immediately and start doing an art stream. So we started looking into Blender, and I'm like, my eyes misted over. I got far enough that I was able to like create a tornado of little balls spinning around and stuff, but like, man, there's a lot of stuff to take in. So I just got kind of overwhelmed. Like the Freezies? Yeah, no, I would love it. Anything that brings you joy, I would happily celebrate it on my stream and celebrate you for it. It's honestly kind of like, that's one of the main reasons I'm doing Twitch, is that it's a way to, like, I spend so much time learning about the news, doing cool shit, like that kind of stuff. And I don't know, the culture on the internet is just like so much fun. So I really want to promote it, invest in it, that kind of stuff. Here, remove background. Oh, right, it's just remove.bg. I forgot about this site. And if you can teach me, I mean anything, any learning that happens, invest in these nuts. Yo, how's it going, Carol? Are they gonna let me? Oh, they're not, eh? 500 by 500. I guess that's fine since we're doing a really quickie, a little quickie art stream. Because I just had the idea that that I could maybe animate it in Scratch, and then maybe another idea is that the alert goes off, and I wonder if there's any way to make my sprite like hop across the screen. But okay, we got Scratch here. We're gonna get rid of the Scratch Cat. We're uploading. Any of y'all familiar with Scratch? Now the part I'm curious about is how well. Oh no! What's going on? Is that just because it's white on white? Let's give a backdrop now. Like baseball field. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now here's the question I have. Can I alter the costumes? This is the part that like. Oh, I can. Look at. Oh, it like cuts it out. I can't like select pieces of it. That was my main question. Can I like grab? And it also looks like the remove background created a bunch of noise in the back of this image. That's actually not good. Your bro quickies. Gotta love. Hey, everybody loves a good quickie. It's when it becomes the norm. It's when norms become. It's when quickies are all there is, and then yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. Then it's like, is that it? Is that all the time we're dedicating to the best part of life? Okay, let's try this again. We'll do it with the main asset. We'll see if we can remove background from here. How to do this, chat? I think you would have to do it in Photoshop and like animate out the different pieces and then load them into Scratch, and then you could program it as different costumes. True, not always, but sometimes. Yeah. Okay, alright, okay. I think I did enough learning. This is not a quick job, unfortunately. It is, it's a whole nother stream. But it's a good idea, and I do want to do it. And I think I could figure this out. All I have to do is, like, cut out the legs, because that's... Oh, you also animate the chest, right? Oh, this might be tougher. I don't know very much about animation, to be honest. Okay, alright. We'll come back to this. Back to the news. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I shouldn't have good ideas. Good ideas are bad and wrong. All they do is lead to more ideas. Okay, let's take a look at the R.Kelly stuff. I got a few more stories. I actually think I only got 1 or 2 more stories. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, no, just some Reddit jokes, which are whatever, you know. This is a interesting bit. This is just from a Redditor who's quoting a source. While investigating the photographs reported in the Chicago Sun-Times, Polk County Sheriff's Office conducted a search of Kelly's residence in Davenport, Florida. During the search, officers recovered 12 images of an alleged underage girl on a digital camera wrapped in a towel in a duffel bag, which allegedly depicted Kelly, quote, involved in, the bad things with a female minor. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, the girl in the images obtained from Kelly's Florida home also appear in the videotape, which got Kelly indicted in Chicago. Police investigators from Polk County and Miami-Dade County arrested Kelly on January 22, 2003 at Miami's Wyndham Grand Bay Hotel for 12 counts of possession of cheese pizza. Kelly posted bail of $12,000, that's it, and was released 3 hours later from Miami-Dade County Jail. Of course it's Miami-Dade. In March 2004, these charges were dropped due to a lack of probable cause for the search warrants. That was 18 years ago, 18 years running free with millions of dollars. Sheesh. Wait, so this story drops. Chicago police mess up the warrant and he skates free on those charges. Oh my god. Until like the feds come in and do it properly. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I was wondering how it was such a, like, it was such an open secret. That's how. That's why. Is because some local sheriffs cocked up the original investigation so badly, the feds had to clean up after them. Yes, Carol. He is now. He just got convicted of a second federal crime, a federal lawsuit against him, criminal charges, I should say. He had previously been charged of and sentenced to 30 years, and now he's just got charged again. But the point I'm making is that in 2002, the story first broke when Jane Doe submitted a very damning videotape. Chicago Sun-Times runs with this story. The police do the investigation so poorly that he walked out free until 18 years later he catches federal charges, and that's what he got 30 years for, like 2 years back or whatever. And now there's a whole nother set. I guess they found new shit or something. So I'm just I'm like kind of going back through the history, and I'm reflecting on how he was able to walk free, why there was this like open secret, how this open secret got to, like, why aren't the police doing anything? It's because they already did, and they messed it up so hard. Dropped to a lack of probable cause. Sheesh. He's not walking out. He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. He's a baked potato now. He done cooked. So, justice, but delayed. Very much delayed. Extremely delayed. Incredibly delayed. Yeah. No bueno, as my friend would say. Okay, so moving on. Let's see what else we got. I think we're moving on to the second segment of the stream. Oh, right, there's this last little piece. His former goddaughter testifies that the singer had sex with her hundreds of times before she turned 18. Now, we read from her some of her testimony, but his own goddaughter, like, I don't know how you do that and sleep at night. Like, there's got to be some sort of sacred, there's something holy being burned there at the stake. Like, I don't know what to say. There's a reason entire religions sprang up around simple moral codes. It's because of shit like this. So this is in August 18th, 2022. So this is fairly recent. A month ago, R.Kelly's former goddaughter took the stand during his highly publicized Chicago trial, shockingly testifying that she and the disgraced singer had had sex hundreds of times before she turned 18. This 37-year-old woman who has chosen to go by Jane Doe? Wait. Okay, cool. Sorry, I misunderstood. So she said it first started happening in 2015, 2 years after she asked the I Believe I Can Fly performer to be her godfather because she felt that he was an inspiration and a mentor to her. Nice. Okay, all right. Let's not read this story. Let's put the car in reverse and get ourselves as far away from the details. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the details anymore. Here's a good palate cleanser. Let's watch a judge yell at the Parkland school shooters defense lawyers for absolutely wasting everybody's time because they had no witnesses to call. They were like done or whatever, and they didn't communicate that properly, and so a bunch of people were called in when they didn't need to be, like the jury, and the judge is about to tear them a new asshole. So that should be fun. I mean, you do need lawyers to defend the worst among us, but if they suck, they suck.
Yes, at this time, the defense rests, other than putting in our records.
Yeah, that's like this face right now. This face is. What do you mean you rest? What do you mean you rest?
We're not playing chess. I mean, will you please take the jury back in? Thank you. All right, go ahead and put in your records. 2B, Nicholas Cruz Henderson, episode 1 record. Let me just stop. Steve, are you going to have anything ready for today?
No. We're expecting,
there was 80 witnesses.
we're waiting for 40 more witnesses.
I just want to say, this is the most uncalled for, unprofessional way to try a case.
Nice.
You all knew about this, and even if you didn't make your decision till this morning, to have 22 people plus all of this staff and every attorney march into court, be waiting as if it's some kind of game.
Absolutely.
Now I have to send them home. The state's not ready. They're not going to have a witness ready. We have another day wasted. I honestly, I have never experienced a level of unprofessionalism in my career. It's unbelievable.
So, Judge, we had any pretrial matters. You asked us to be here at 9:15. We were here at 9:15 to discuss pretrial matters. I have been practicing in this county for 20 years.
Oh my God, she's going to argue with her.
You're insulting me on the record in front of my client.
Wow.
That I should be able to
Okay,
defend
you
myself.
can do that later. You can make your record later, but you've been insulting me the entire trial. So, blatantly, taking your headphones off, arguing with me, storming out, coming late intentionally if you don't like my rulings. So, quite frankly, this has been long overdue.
Dang.
So please be seated. You can receive the evidence. I will receive the evidence. And then you can put whatever you want on the record at the end.
That was
Go ahead.
feisty. That was so good. Oh my gosh. She destroyed her. Oh my God. Oh jeez. I want to play that part right in the middle. This is the juiciest part of the steak.
All of this staff and every attorney march in, be waiting. I honestly.
Right here.
Pretrial matters. I have been practicing in this county for 20 years.
You know what?
I've been doing this for 22 years. I'm older than you. Just because you some uppity judge doesn't mean that I haven't been practicing law longer than you. It's awesome. It's so good. The way her hands are clasped is the lawyer's like method of strangling. They're like making this strangling motion just with their hands right now. She's so pissed. So pissed she's gonna try to talk over a judge.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Well, Judge, you're insulting me on the record in front of my client, and I believe that I should be able to
it. Okay,
defend
you
myself.
can do that later. You can make.
Awesome. It's so good. It's great. Also, this moment.
Yes, at this time the defense rests.
Oh, don't do that to me. Oh, okay. Well, there it is. I already paused it the one time. It was her shocked Pikachu. Her shocked Pikachu face. Come now. Come on, internet. The defense team should have communicated that they had planned to rest that day. Instead, they let all of these witnesses and consultants, their caretakers and SOs and drivers and whatnot be driven in and wait to speak. Some of these people are victims. They are being re-traumatized every time they have to testify. So the defense team did that to them, and they wasted people's time and money and, hypothetically, maybe their job security by making them be away from their job one more day than necessary, including rescheduling to have to reschedule testimony. So Yeah, it looks like the defense team is using the trial system and subpoena power to harass everybody they see is not on their side by jerking them around, according to Eric, a Redditor user. Yeah, that's, that actually...
Yes,
yeah.
at this time the defense rests.
Oh, come on. What's happening? Why you no play? Why you no play? Pepe hands.
Yes, at this time the defense rests. Other than putting in our records.
Can I get a Pikachu? Can I get a Pika? You rest? That's it? I love like how much consequence follows from just 2 words. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. It's 2 words, 2 syllables. We rest.
We're not playing.
Awesome. So good. What a great palate cleanser. I completely forgot about what we were covering before. But that's okay, because what we're covering next is... Oh man, you ready for some real shit? Oh my god, this is some crazy stuff happening. There's already been a couple clips that I'll pull up on background going around of some really obnoxious police. You know, police. You know how police can be sometimes. But especially the LAPD. So we're going to actually take a closer look because there's been some pretty insane stuff that's been coming up, at least on the social media. And I also had, there's also like this one clip of this very disturbing female cop. I'll pull that up on background. But this is the one I saw that went viral the other day. And trigger warning, of course, it's very anxiety inducing because it escalates so quickly and it's so hard to understand what the logic here is, except obey my authority, you know what I mean? So I'll probably drop the sound a bit, and a lot of the information is coming in the bottom left corner in the form of text. So you see right now it says LAPD body cam, and maybe you don't see because the September goal is there. Let me just drop that real quick. Yeah, a lot of the information's coming in this bottom left corner. LAPD brass fought to keep this footage from being released to the public for over 2 years. So this is 2019, you can see. May 24th, it looks like. So we're going to take a look at this. It's, hang on to your butts. Woman called the cops on her white boyfriend. These 2 LAPD officers had absolutely no idea who they were looking for. Wait, can you hear that? Let me just make sure it's boosted. Is this the dude? Probably.
Turn around for me.
Turn around.
Turn around.
Just turn around.
Turn around because I told you to. Turn around. What are you doing, bro? I live here. All right, we got a call. We got a. Okay, man. I don't know who I'm looking for yet. Come on.
I don't know who I'm looking for.
Turn around, man. What is your problem, dude? Turn around, dude.
Hasn't told him he's being detained yet.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What is your problem?
Escalate your attack on
Get
him.
up against the wall. Look what you're doing to me. Jeez. Hey, Michelle! Jeez, dude. What are you doing?
He starts calling for Michelle.
Jeez. Yo, you're looking for the people upstairs, bro. I don't know.
She's taking a shower.
Dog, you can't touch me. Yo, you got your hands on me for no reason, bro.
Neighbor who had made the actual 911 call, comes over and tries to tell them they got the wrong call. Before he starts freaking out.
Get away! Get away! Take him down.
The man's girlfriend rushes downstairs wearing only a bathrobe. Relax, he says. The neighbor keeps saying, "You got the wrong guy." Now attacks the man's girlfriend by grabbing and violently shoving her away. At no point have they told the man who is being detained. More LAPD arrive to escalate the attack. Get on the ground. Backup now attacks and throws the man's girlfriend on the ground and handcuffs her. Relax, sir. To shove the man's neighbor away even as she tells him, "You have the wrong man." Stop resisting. No crime, not a lawful arrest. Nowhere near reasonable suspicion. Willfully assaulted two citizens, and LAPD top brass tried to cover this up by blocking the release of this footage for over 2 years. Just relax, buddy. The white male suspect LAPD was meant to be looking for was reported to be 3 blocks away. They just had to go around the block a few times. Despite the neighbor telling the LAPD they had the wrong man, LAPD claims her description of the suspect was vague. The LAPD attacked and arrested the man and his girlfriend with no description for no crime simply because they got a call. I got a call, guy. A lawsuit over this assault was filed against LAPD. Once again, Angelinos will be stuck paying out millions for the LAPD's miscreant actions. Google LAPD gangs or LAPD jump out boys for more info, which is exactly what we're going to be doing in this segment. So we see how it ends. Let's see how it starts again. One more time. Watch how quickly, like we're at from 30 seconds to a minute. It's in insane territory. This is so crazy. Just turn around. Doesn't even say hello. It's like I wouldn't. What? I don't even recognize what country that kind of happens in. That's Gestapo stuff. It's literally Gestapo stuff. Like that's way out of line.
Turn around for me.
Turn around from me. First words he says. Not hello. Not, sir, you're being detained. Turn around for me. Yeah, please submit yourself to my absolute authority right now, immediately. I know we've never met before, but...
Turn around. Turn around. Turn around because I told you to. Turn around.
Because I told you to. Seems pretty clear, doesn't it? Turn around, subject yourself to my authority, because I said so.
Bro, I live here. All right, we got a call. Okay.
It's okay, though, because we got a call. Therefore, we have legal authority to do whatever the fuck we want. The law's on the cop side. Later, like, I'm pretty sure the way that this is gonna play out is qualified immunity. Like the... Where is it? Here it is. Oh, this is about Chris Dorner. I couldn't find it. But I think in the... Attorneys for the city also maintain that the 2 LAPD officers are immune from liability. Let's see if we can pull that up from the LA Sentinel. Music producer's racial profiling suit against LA tentatively settled June 4th, 2021. A settlement has been tentatively reached with the city of LA in a federal civil rights lawsuit brought by a Hollywood music producer who fought in court to have police body camera video made public to prove allegations he was racially profiled before his arrest, his attorney said today. Anton Austin, 42, was taking in his trash cans at his apartment on May 24, 2019, when two LAPD officers suddenly pulled up and ordered him to turn around, according to video footage that we just watched right now. Without explanation, the officers attempted to handcuff Austin, who was black, and became upset with him when he didn't comply. The settlement was reached in principle last week, according to Faisal Gill, the couple's attorney. Gill said he could not disclose the amount of the settlement until the agreement is brought before the city council for a vote sometime in the next few weeks. Quote, I think the city realized this was not a case they wanted to take to trial. I do feel that we're changing the power slowly, Carol says. I see cops are actually being called out, but they definitely need harsher punishments for these fucking gang mentality cops. I think I have a hard time agreeing, because while Chauvin did get convicted and go to jail, that kind of thing, also at the same time, the legal system itself is facing a legitimacy crisis. Like, SCOTUS is becoming just as illegitimate as your beat cop. So even if you fix one of those, the other one is still a deep, serious problem. And there's something going on between those two nodes in the judicial system. And there's absolutely a level of motivated reasoning happening. And that's been, pushed by the Republicans as much as anything. And it's terrifying to see. Like, even if we as a culture say, yeah, cops bad and let's push back against them, and ACAB isn't a fringe thing but a mainstream thing, it doesn't necessarily change the actual power structure, the actual where police are getting their authority. I think, like, this might be a discussion I should try to have with Counterpoints, who's like got a really hard nose when it comes to policing and the military. So he might be able to check some of my assumptions. The reason I say this is because he raised a really good point, which is like the types of people who do these jobs, like they're not the libs. They generally do tend to be right wing, and so you are stuck in a tough spot there where you're trying to appeal to a community with different sets of values. And they're like, well, but we're the ones who do this job, Anyways. So the city attorney's office spokesman, Rob Wilcox, said he would not comment on a pending settlement. The lawsuit asked for at least $2 million from the city and was set for jury trial in October. Federal judge ordered the suit dismissed Tuesday after learning of the pending settlement. All right. And then apparently most damaging for the city are the first minutes of the video. Yeah. Showing officers expressing confusion whether Austin is the actual suspect they are looking for, even though they were told it's a white man they're after. Like, that's so damning. As the patrol car passes Austin and then turns back, one officer asks, "This dude?" And his partner responds, "Probably." Probably. More likely than not. It's a big city. It's probably this guy. Gill said charges of resisting arrest and assault on a police officer were eventually dropped against Austin, and a charge of interfering in the arrest lodged against Austin's girlfriend, Michelle, was also tossed. That's crazy, man. They were charging them like pretty serious crimes. An LAPD office spokesman previously said that according to policy, the department does not comment on pending litigation. In court filings earlier this year, LAPD office argued that the couple's claim was without merit and should be dismissed, and that Austin and his girlfriend were to blame for the incident. Attorneys for the city also maintained that the two LAPD officers are immune from liability. So if you're ever wondering how it started, Gill previously said the officers didn't know who they were looking for when they arrived at the scene in response to a domestic disturbance call involving a white neighbor. It was racial profiling, Gill alleged in April. No question about it. And to add injury to insult, they arrest my clients, put them in jail. Even the woman who called 911 tried to tell the officers they had the wrong person. As for Austin's reaction to the settlement, Gill said, quote, "He's satisfied with it. He's just relieved it's over." So it's like there's so much rot. It goes so deep, goes up to the city, right? And if it's going up to the city, that means it's the culture, it's constituents, it's people who vote them in. So, I don't know. I think this story is absolutely incredible. There's also, we are also pulling up, what was the other one I had? I'll put the music back. Yeah, this is the other one that I thought was just so next level. So incredible. I want to dig into this a little bit. So they raided a commissioner tasked with investigating gang activity in the force. Can you imagine? Sheriff's deputies are taking boxes from Civilian Oversight Commissioner Patty Giggins, it's misspelled, LA Home, part of a sprawling investigation that includes Metro and Supervisor Sheila Kuhl. The COC has held a series of investigative hearings into alleged gangs in the LASD. I'm not sure why it's LASD, not PD. Oh, Sheriff's Department, that's why. So let's take a look at this. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, every time I put background music, I gotta drop it. And then every time I put on an audio clip, I gotta raise it. And then not too loud so that y'all can still hear me. It's touchy. I'm learning. I'm sorry. But here, let's take a look at this clip. Pause the music altogether. You see behind the curtain. It's the fun part of Twitch. Can you believe it? I'm generally sorry because I'm Canadian, and I also happen to be. I'm both learning all the time and also Canadian all the time.
What unit are you guys with?
So it often means I'm sorry for learning. Unless you think it's something others would notice. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm so small. I need all the tips I can get. You know, there's all sorts of blind spots, especially audio. Audio, it's really hard for me to hear what I'm actually outputting. I just have little signals on my end, and how well you can read them, you know, is something it comes with practice. You know, Peepo G. Yeah, for sure. So pretty crazy. I just can't imagine this is above board. You need a new keyboard? Yeah, I know that feeling. I gotta clean my keyboard. That's what I gotta do, man. I gotta clean my whole shit up. So this is big. Giggins' lawyer, Austin Dove, and this is from Kate Cagle. I think there's a news report we're gonna find on this later. Yeah, make up you. Giggins' lawyer, Austin Dove, confirms detectives took a computer, flash drives, and an official police tow just showed up to take her car. Her car, chat. It's so malicious. You know that's not above board. You know it's not. Like, there's no way. There's no way this is normal. Oh, actual hell world. Actual hell world. This is harassment, Giggins says. Dove says that is not in the warrant. Tensions escalate. Bro. They're trying to take her car. It's not even on the warrant? Oh, look at this thumb. Look at these thumbs. They look like abject morons. You look dumb in your sunglasses. They all got the, like, I don't know, man. Gives me the bad vibes. Gives me bad vibes. Giggins' lawyer provided this photo of 4 of the 12 deputies who searched her home. More showed up at her office, where staff says they seized servers from Peace Over Violence, meaning the nonprofit cannot function. The Metro contract under investigation ended in December. Bro. I'll be on Special News SoCal starting at noon with the latest. So let's listen to this interview with, this looks like Patty Giggins, the commissioner herself. Yeah, it's Patty Giggins.
You have continued your work on the commission, including the investigative hearings into the alleged deputy gangs, while you yourself are under investigation by the department. Can you speak, is there a conflict there? Do you think that this was an effort to get you to recuse yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
I think that the sheriff would have been very happy had I just left, resigned, because of the pressure that has been put on me.
Kate, a whole lot of investigating, right? She's investigating,
Right.
but she's under
Right.
investigation. It's a lot going on here. Again, that's why we're glad to have you here. Give us more context to this. Give us even more detail about this warrant in general.
Well, I would say that that comes back to the biggest question here, right? Is, you know who we did not see at these search warrants this morning? We did not see the FBI. We did not see anyone from the Department of Justice, who would usually be involved in a serious corruption investigation like this. They did release the search warrant that allowed them to search these folks' home, also Metro offices, also Patty Giggins' office, and they are alleging bribery here, that Sheila Kuehl allegedly took some sort of bribe. But it's just the sheriff's department participating in this investigation, which calls a lot into question.
That's incredible. That's incredible. The sheriff's department found a judge to sign off on bribery, which allows them to take all the shit.
Let's stay there for a moment. I mean, is this a bullying tactic? Is there something, is something valid to this? And where do we go from here? Are these just charges that may just stay out there and never actually go for a conviction of anything?
Well, that's been an issue with the sheriff's department, who has put Giggins under investigation, and also the inspector general. Max Huntsman is part of an open investigation.
What?
We have been tracking all of these allegations, but so
Yo, they're investigating the commissioner and the investigator general. That stinks to high heaven.
far, we have not seen any criminal charges. We also reached out to the district attorney, George Gascon, today for comment on whether or not they have looked at this case. Giggins believes that they have, and that they have said that there is nothing here and declined to bring charges.
Yo, this is actually a crazy story. Under Sheriff Timothy Murakami, who has defied several subpoenas to testify in front of the Civilian Oversight Commission on deputy gangs, says he is overseeing the investigation into Commissioner Giggins. Yeah, that seems legit. Bro. Under Sheriff Murakami discusses multiple search warrants served
Today, detectives from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Public Corruption Unit served search warrants at multiple locations in connection with an ongoing public corruption investigation.
Oh, yeah.
After a years-long investigation, which remains active, detectives served a search warrant on multiple locations in order to obtain records and other evidence. The purpose is to prove or disprove the identified parties involved in the allegations of criminal wrongdoing. Those locations included the homes of Los Angeles County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl and Los Angeles County Civilian Oversight Commissioner Patricia Patty Giggins. Also searched for offices located at the Los Angeles County Hall of Administration, Peace Over Violence headquarters, and the LA Metro headquarters. The investigation has been shared with a federal agency, and they continue to monitor. The elected sheriff of Los Angeles County, Alex Villanueva, has been recused from the inquiry and delegated all of his responsibility and authority regarding this inquiry to me, under Sheriff Timothy Murakami. I've been overall command of the inquiry since it began several years ago, in which a complaint was received of potential criminal conduct by elected and appointed officials in Los Angeles County who are stakeholders in the operation of the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transit Authority, or MTA. The Los Angeles County MTA is the agency designated to plan, operate, and coordinate funding and operations
What is it relevant?
for the most of the public transportation in Los Angeles County.
Pause, champ.
The MTA Board of Directors is composed of the 5 elected Los Angeles County Supervisors, the Mayor of the City of Los Angeles, and 3 of the designees, and 5 other representatives who are stakeholders in the MTA system throughout the county. A special master was requested for the search warrant, and one will be appointed by the Superior Court this week to make evidentiary rulings. This remains an active and open investigation, and it would be inappropriate to comment further.
Oh, yeah.
In full transparency, the search warrant has been posted online at lasd.org for your review. The public is encouraged to contact the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department with any additional information that may be of assistance. Thank you.
So what do you think? Is he telling the true, or is he full of shit? This guy's voice reminds me of those nerds who are like, actually, Star Trek episode 5, season 3 Spock said that they're in these coordinates, but in the next scene, we can clearly see that they were in these coordinates. Yeah, that's a chatting vibe. Yeah, I actually had I completely tuned him out almost immediately. I had a hard time paying any attention. All I know was that he was reading from a canned statement that was clearly written like they've done this before, and speaking around the real story, which is they're investigating the people who's investigating them. Fucking lol. DA, the district attorney, George Cascon's office, says they rejected this case in September 2021 because there wasn't enough evidence to prove a crime has been committed. The DA was not aware of the search warrants today and says they will not defend them in court. Yeah. As Sheriff Alex Villanueva uses the search by the LA County Sheriff's Department to promote his re-election campaign on Instagram, Supervisor Sheila Kuehl accuses him of harassment, intimidation, and retaliation, and vows the search itself will be investigated. Warrant served at home of LA County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl. And then we got Alex for Sheriff. Nobody is above the law. This morning, LASD's public corruption unit executed warrants on multiple locations. So this is him like saying public corruption. Sheila Kuehl, he even hashtagged her. Make no mistake, today's search warrant is not motivated by a desire to get to the bottom of a Metro contract that dates from 7 years ago. The process by which this contract was awarded never involved me, and the first I knew of it was an invite to a Metro press conference announcing it. The basis of the search was questionable and will be investigated. This morning's storming of my home by deputies with bulletproof vests and tactical gear was an effort to harass, intimidate, and retaliate against a public figure who has been an outspoken critic of Alex Villanueva. Let's go! Yeah, this is so sus. Sussy baka right here. More context into dueling investigations between the most powerful players in Los Angeles County politics, the sheriff and the board of supervisors, and the whistleblower who launched the corruption investigation. Also, how's it going, Sen?
They're the images of a widespread investigation. Deputies filing into the offices of LA Metro and the homes of Supervisor Sheila Kuehl and Commissioner Patty Giggins, seizing computers, flash drives, and to Giggins' outrage,
There's no warrant to take my car.
the family car.
You can't take my car.
Sheriff Alex Villanueva says he's not involved in the search, but continued his war of words against the Board of Supervisors and the Civilian Oversight Commission.
But you got to remember, they voted to call for my resignation. Once they do that, they cease to be advisors. They're now activists.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the whole point of a commission is to make those sorts of recommendations.
Everything they do, you have to look at it in a political lens.
Oh, yeah, okay. So maybe an investigation could be looked at. Hey,
Like
look,
Giggins
it's Denim
are
Day.
up-
Do you see that? Do you see that? Look, she's holding a thing that says Denim Day. Yeah, that's not how any of this works. No, Denims would be proud.
Outspoken critics of Villanueva, Giggins leading a series of investigative hearings into secret deputy gangs.
She's leading a hearing into secret deputy gangs and then gets raided by that department. Like, we don't have to cross an ocean here to see what's really going on.
Today's searches were led by Undersheriff Timothy Murakami, who, along with Villanueva, has defied subpoenas to testify in front of the commission under oath.
That blows my mind. The definition of the word subpoena means, like, it translates to, like, under threat of penalty. So if they're defying the subpoenas, why hasn't the court, like, clapped them and said, hey, you have to respond to these legal subpoenas? It's a court-ordered request for information. And then the follow-up is for them to raid the people who requested the subpoena, like, or who issued it. I don't really know how that works, but I don't know. It's wild. This story is incredible.
After a years-long investigation, which remains active, detectives served a search warrant on multiple locations in order to obtain records and other evidence.
The 39-page search warrant details $900,000 of no-bid contracts given to Giggins nonprofit to run a domestic violence hotline on Metro. It relies on complaints by a former Metro employee. Jennifer Lowe spoke to Spectrum News 1 about her concerns in 2020 and has since settled a lawsuit against the county.
Sheila Kuehl is flexing her power as a supervisor to provide contracts to organizations and friends that she believes in.
The LASD has
been... Do you believe her? Do you believe her right there? Considering Giggins' response is like, the first I heard of it was at an event promoting it. So the cops found 2 people. Someone to lodge the complaint and a judge to let this bullshit pass the mustard.
Been on this case for years, unlike other public corruption investigations that were led by the U.S. Department of Justice, which has not weighed in on today's search.
That's incredible stuff. Is there anything else on this story? Why are they carrying empty boxes? Here's the LA Times story on it. Let me just put on some background tunes. Maybe I'm sick of the Animal Crossing. Let's put on Theo Parrish. Okay. September 23rd, 2021. 2021. So this must be... I'm wondering if this is like info coming from the commissioner. So this is a year old. On paper, the deputies are scattered around the LA County Sheriff's Department in various assignments. One is supposed to be working patrol in Lancaster, another in West Hollywood. A third is assigned to a gang crime unit. In reality, though, the group of 9... Hey now. The group of 9 men and women make up a little-known team of investigators formed by Sheriff Alex Villanueva and other top sheriff's officials. Much of what they do, by design, is a mystery to the public, and even to most within the department. But as some of the investigations handled by the team have come to light, a common thread has emerged. Their targets are outspoken critics of Villanueva or the department. Yo. The unit, named the Civil Rights and Public Integrity Detail. Every time, it's always the thing that they're destroying. The Public Integrity Detail? Oh, man. Come on. Come on. Why you do that? Why? Every time. So they've been running a long-running investigation into one of Villanueva's most vocal critics, the LA County Inspector General Max Huntsman. The Inspector General Max Huntsman for LA County. And others, despite sheriff's officials being told by the FBI and state law enforcement officials that it appeared no crimes had been committed, a senior sheriff's official said. The team also has an open criminal inquiry into a non-profit that is run by a member of a county board that oversees the sheriff and is associated with County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl. both of whom have clashed fiercely with Villanueva and called for his resignation. Like, quite literally in that clip we heard of him, he's admitting it. He's saying, how dare as soon as she called for my resignation, she made this political. Therefore, I can investigate her for crimes? Like, talk about, and like, saying out loud that you aren't investigating a crime. Like, it's clearly about the criticism. Concern over the team has caused consternation, both inside and outside the department. Even the union, representing rank-and-file deputies, put out a warning that a member of the detail was using unconventional tactics to question deputies. George Gascon, the county's district attorney, decided he wanted nothing to do with the unit after sheriff's officials proposed the two agencies create a task force to collaborate on public corruption investigations. Quote, he's only targeting political enemies, Gascon told the Times about Villanueva. Quote, it was obvious that was not the kind of work I wanted to engage in, so we declined. Dang. And that ain't nobody. That's the county DA. Like, you can't... He's the one who's going to bring it to court. So, no DA, no crime. You can't convict anyone without a DA. He's only targeting political enemies. Shortly after Gascon refused to partner with the sheriff's department, Villanueva came out as a strong supporter of a recall campaign to kick the DA out of office. The unit has spurred a bitter confrontation between Villanueva and the Civilian Oversight Commission, which oversees the sheriff and his agency. Commission members say they fear the sheriff is using it to intimidate people who challenge him and to score points in personal vendettas and not conduct legitimate inquiries into possible crimes. The slow pace of the unit's investigations and its apparent lack of results have only deepened suspicions. So how's that criminal investigation going on? Quote, these highly publicized criminal investigations have never resulted in charges being filed, suggesting an ulterior motive. Sean Kennedy, a Loyola Law School professor who sits on the commission, said in a 10-page memo calling for an investigation into whether Villanueva is abusing his power. The commission subpoenaed Villanueva to appear before them Thursday to answer questions about the team. The sheriff has indicated that he will not show up, saying he's too busy. Too busy. He's got something to do tomorrow. In a July letter to the commission's executive director, Under Sheriff Tim Murakami said Kennedy's memo was filled with, quote, wild accusations, and accused the commission of collaborating with the Inspector General's office and media organizations, including the Times, to spread false info about Villanueva and the department. Murakami answered initial questions about the unit during a brief interview with the Times in April, but has not responded to repeated follow-up questions. A spokesman for the department told the Times earlier this month that Murakami and other sheriff's officials would not discuss the detail with the Times reporter who was investigating it, because the spokesman claimed the reporter had a conflict of interest. Everybody's got a conflict of interest. The spokesman repeatedly refused to provide any details of the alleged conflict to a Times editor. The department suggested it would answer questions from any other Times reporter. The Times declined to assign a new reporter to the story. Yeah, of course not. On Wednesday evening, the sheriff released a public statement defending the unit as a tool for fighting corruption and denying it was being used to go after his political opponents. Quote, or actually, if we can watch... here it is. Oh, wow. Tomorrow, a local newspaper will release a story about the department's long overdue creation of a public corruption unit. Sheriff's Department has been conducting public corruption investigations for decades under every single sheriff, but has never been formalized until now. The department has been investigating multiple complaints of public malfeasance since I took office in December of 2018, which is well within the authority of the department, consistent with California Code. As a matter of fact, the California Constitution bestows investigative authority to the office of the sheriff as an independently elected official who is not subordinate to any other elected official in the county. Look at that language. How dare you tell me I ain't a king? This is my county. This is of particular significance when the community is demanding transparency and accountability. No one is above the rule of law. Wow. In the article, the reporter will push the narrative that I created this team to attack my political opponents and their appointees. This is false. The sole responsibility of the Sheriff's Department is to investigate allegations of criminal conduct as they are discovered, regardless of how convenient it may be. The unit is supervised by the undersheriff, and I have recused myself from all decision. The unit is supervised by the undersheriff. Wow, such supervision. The department routinely seeks out the opinion of the DA, the state attorney general's office, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, who have all been like, yo, cut it out. What are you doing right now, bro? The idea for the team was rooted. Oh, wait, here we go. Within the department, however, multiple sources said they have heard the team referred to as the Sheriff's Secret Police. Sheesh. Yo, Secret Police, everybody. Back in style. Man, didn't they have a word for that during the Second World War for Secret Police? Usually a bad sign. Usually a bad sign. The idea for the team was rooted in Villanueva's upstart campaign for sheriff in 2018. While trying to persuade liberal voters he would be a progressive reformer, he also vowed to address what he said was widespread corruption among the department's senior ranks that led to deputies being unfairly disciplined. Dang. Oh, that's brutal. And the libs bought it, hook, line, and sinker. They're like, he's gonna root out corruption? He just starts investigating public. Oh my god. After taking office, Villanueva took steps to make good on his campaign promise, including hiring back deputies who he said had been wrongly fired. He also formed a team to investigate current and former high-ranking sheriff's officials over allegations of criminal wrongdoing in cases against deputies. There's no indication any of those cases resulted in charges. Damn, man. Whoa, this keeps going. This is getting deeper. A central member of the team, several law enforcement sources said, was Mark Lilienfield, a longtime homicide investigator, murder police, who had retired in 2016. Aides had cautioned Villanueva during his first week in office against bringing Lilienfield on board, said Joseph Dempsey, a now retired sheriff's chief who attended a meeting with other aides to brief Villanueva about this guy, Lilienfield. The aides told Villanueva that a few months earlier, Lilienfield, who at the time was investigating a murder for the DA's office, had dressed in a sheriff's uniform to pose as a deputy to sneak a McDonald's Egg McMuffin and a cup of coffee into an inmate at Men's Central Jail, a violation of jail rules. In this video from LA County jail cameras, retired sheriff's homicide detective Mark Lilienfield in a deputy's uniform and leaves a plastic bag and cup in the inmate chapel. Interesting. Is this gang shit? It's not even hiding it. They banned him from county jails and posted notice with his photo at jail entrances directing employees to alert a supervisor if he showed up. Is that because he could have been... Is it just a McDonald's? But why is he working for an inmate? And he hid it like right behind a camera. Here comes the inmate into the chapel. Looks around. He finds it. Yo, Mickey D's. And is he hiding it outside a camera? I love how, like, the spot... Yeah, it's all hidden from camera. The inmate knows what he's doing, but the sheriff just sort of walked around glibly. Damn, what people will go through for a little taste of familiarity. So Villanueva didn't see anything wrong with this. No problem. This is fine. He downplayed the jail incident, saying that Linfield was too important to his future plans. Bro, this is like the Wire shit. Dempsey's account contradicts what Murakami, Villanueva's undersheriff, said in an interview 2 years ago, which was that Villanueva was not aware of the Egg McMuffin incident until the Times began asking questions about it a year after it occurred. Uh-oh, caught in the lie. In a brief interview after he was rehired in 2019, Linfield said he was reporting to Murakami and assigned to investigate public corruption. Murakami identified Linfield as a member of the unit to the Times. In August 2019, Murakami made the unusual move of announcing that the department was investigating Huntsman, its top watchdog. In a letter to the Board of Supervisors and a statement at the time, he said Huntsman, members of his staff and sheriff's officers were under investigation for allegedly stealing confidential files the department keeps on high-ranking officials. He urged the board to sideline Huntsman until the investigation was complete. The announcement came after Villanueva told Huntsman that if the inspector general went ahead with plans to release a report about the sheriff's rehiring of a deputy who had been fired over domestic violence and stalking allegations, quote, there would be consequences. Yo, how dare you tell people that I'm gonna hire a deputy who was allegedly beating his girlfriend or partner or whomever. And last I checked, what are the stats again on rates of domestic abuse for police in comparison to the regular population? It's definitely lower, right? Because they're trained in violence and using it, right? You know, and not I'm not even gonna make the joke. It's brutal. It's brutal, man. I can't even. Ah, boy. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, man, I'm missing some stuff popping off in Montreal. I'm a silly goose. Okay, moving on. So, Bernie Sanders is blocking a proposal that would force rail unions to accept a labor deal. And apparently, there's going to be a huge strike action tomorrow if nothing changes today. And Warren Buffett, you know, everybody's favorite billionaire, apparently not so good a person. So let's watch this because there might be a huge supply chain crash, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if it's actually a catastrophe, though.
To settle their contract before a looming strike on Friday. According to news, pressure mounts on freight railroads and the unions representing them to settle their contract before a looming strike on Friday. According to News Nation, the coalition negotiating on behalf of major freight railroads such as Burlington Northern and Santa Fe Railway, or BNSF, announced 8 of the tentative agreements needed to avert a strike. Deals mentioned so far closely follow the Presidential Emergency Board's recommendations, calling for 24% raises over 5 years, $5,000 in bonuses, and 1 additional day of paid leave a year.
However, the 2 biggest unions representing conductors and engineers have refrained from joining because they want to see concerns about strict attendance policies and working conditions addressed. Hope these things are addressed, obviously, because a rail strike would, I presume, be just catastrophic to an already suffering economy, to the supply chain, to all sorts of those things.
Yeah, well, so this is the whole point of a labor strike, that employers obviously can coerce employees to do any number of things, to take low wages, to have unfair labor practices, because people need to eat. People need to keep a roof over their head, and the only ways that employers can push back is to collect.
Divided we beg, together we bargain. Together we bargain, divided we beg.
Actively bargain and make demands as they have done here. Now, they are relying on the fact that there are economic consequences to their strike. That's the whole point of striking. So, for example, this isn't just about passenger trains. This could derail, this is per the Washington Post, critical deliveries of...
Derail. Lady, you did not just say the word derail in a story about train workers. Stop.
Chlorine to wastewater treatment over their head, and the only ways that employers can push back is to collectively bargain and make demands as they have done here. Now, they are relying on the fact that there are economic consequences to their strike. That's the whole point of striking. So, for example, this isn't just about passenger trains. This could derail, this is per the Washington Post, critical deliveries of chlorine to wastewater treatment plants and coal to utility plants, among other potentially crippling disruptions, including, disruptions to the nation's drinking water supply.
So it's a huge problem based on what we've been covering this week.
So it's worth asking what these people are asking for, and it seems like the central hang-up here has to do with this vacation day policy, where they're given very little in terms of vacation days. They don't have weekends off, and they can be asked to work 14 days straight, and any additional time they take off outside of their very narrow, limited vacation times are docked in a point system from their careers.
You're saying these workers, they work They get a break after 14 days. They work every weekend. They just have 14-day.
Yeah, they don't have apparently a same kind of a weekend set schedule. So if you count up all of the weekend days that you and I have off, it's 100 days out of the year, something like that, or just maybe shy of that, on top of holidays and sick date, 2 weeks sick leave, and all these other kinds of things. And these railroad employees, I think because of the nature of the business and how tight scheduling is and those kinds of things, they simply don't have any flexibility within their schedule. And this is something apparently that the management has been very reluctant to move on. And so a lot of workers have been interviewed. People like Max Alvarez, who's a frequent guest of this show, have talked to workers about how, they want you to also plan it a lot in advance. You can't plan when you're going to be sick. You can't plan when a baby's going to be born. You can't plan when a wedding is going to happen at the beginning of a year. You have no idea what's going to come up. And the complete and total inflexibility has caused a significant deterioration in quality of life.
Yeah, I saw that point coming up in the threads too when I was reading up on this. A lot of people were saying how they want us to submit which days we're going to take off, but how do I plan for what was it, a funeral in October? In February, how do I plan for a funeral in October? I think was the question that was asked, and I'm like, there's no way you can plan that.
Well, as you said, editor-in-chief of The Real News, Max Alvarez, says the mainstream media has finally taken an interest in covering this story, but the coverage is lacking on the workers' side. Alvarez broke down his organization's coverage of the long-brewing crisis in the rail industry, starting from when workers at BNSF...
Sounds like your job, Lacey. Days off are submitted in March for the year and approved based on seniority and coverage. Yeah, it's insane to me. I don't know how you're supposed to organize your life as if... I don't know, it follows a straight line. Isn't it usually topsy-turvy and all over the place? Or cap due to Ford? Yeah, Ford's been absolutely public enemy number one, especially for the public sector, nurses and social workers and the like. Teachers, no more than 1% increase in 5 years. Well, that's okay, right? Because it's not like inflation's a problem or anything, or it's not like we have record house prices or anything like that. So it's cool, right? That's fine. I'm sure that's good for everyone in the long run, because that's good politics.
Blocked from striking over what he called a, quote, draconian new attendance policy,
upsetting.
as you were highlighting.
It's pretty upsetting to watch the Republican strategy of starve the beast actually find its home here in Canada. Ontarians actually, I know it was really record low turnout, but they did re-elect Doug Ford, who very clearly is starving the beast. He's drowning public government in the bathtub, making it so small you can drown it in the bathtub, I think is the phrase.
With workers on call 24/7. Alvarez interviewing a longtime train dispatcher about how painful it's been to watch an industry he loves be destroyed by corporate greed. Now, according to CNBC, Dennis Pierce, the president of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, said rail companies BNSF and Union Pacific rejected the union's proposal for sick time policy. BNSF, however, has rejected that claim and says it's, quote, categorically false. They say rail employees are provided with significant time off. So
yeah, but it's insane, the time off. Wow, 9 days?
According to CNBC, Union Pacific says the company is in active discussions to address time off concerns. And in this Washington Post article, Dennis Pierce, the president of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, said they're not that far apart in the negotiations. So hopefully everybody meets in the middle, works out some policy.
Hopefully everyone meets in the middle, everybody.
See, that is better for the workers than what they have currently, because we do not want to see a strike. It's going to be...
It always blows my mind that the thing that workers are asking for is always like this really basic, I can't do this job unless I get this thing. Please give me that thing, you know? Like, it's always the most rudimentary, like, kitchen table politics stuff, and it's still a grind.
Horrible.
Yeah, so one thing to keep an eye on is that, you know, I happen to have been in France over the summer when they were experiencing some transit strikes, and even though there was a lot of congestion on the road and it was very inconvenient to people in the country, everyone that I spoke to there had a kind of, well, good, I hope the workers get what they want kind of attitude. I see already Americans focusing a lot on the employer and not at all asking the question why the employer doesn't just concede to some of these demands if the situation is as dire as is being described. So, for example, this is a description specifically of what the policies are like. Under this points-based policy that began in February, BNSF workers are given 30 points for the rest of their careers and docked points anywhere from 2 to 7 for days taken off outside of the already allocated vacation days.
Oh, this is the worst, like the Kafka-esque like point systems and having to learn like this day off is worth 1.749 days off or 0.79 days off, some like weird like magic system that they use to strip you of your rights and stuff.
They can earn points back by working 14 days straight, but the total number of points they accrue can never exceed 30. These issues, plus the always-on-call nature of operating trains and railroad layoffs, have caused many rail workers to leave the profession, amounting to a 20% reduction in the workforce since 2019, compounding the issues.
Essential workers, everybody. They all left the jobs where they're needed to do all the things essential for society, like shipping goods and water.
You have fewer people doing more work faster, and they're not allowed to have any sorts of breaks.
So a spokesperson for the railroad says, you may have heard from labor they get no sick days or paid time off. This is false, she says unequivocally, and she says
well, that's not what this person is saying. They're not saying that they have no sick time or time off, and frankly, that sounds like a railroad employer doing what they often do, which is misrepresenting the claims of
Nice. Yo, she is not having
the workers in order to make themselves seem like they aren't actually engaged in coercive employment practices. So people can read, and I hope they do follow this story. The reason that we're pegged to Friday is because there has been a cooling off period. There's a 60-day cooling off period that is built into the law to try to prevent premature strikes. But that period ends Friday, and at that time, if they haven't worked out a solution to this contract negotiation, then it's likely that we're going to see some pretty significant disruptions.
Well, and look, to be clear, I don't have any issue with workers, wanting better pay, better conditions, organizing, coming together to get employers to listen to their demands. Oftentimes they are reasonable. My objection with labor unions is really confined. My sort of structural ideological objection is for
oh my God, your structural ideological objection.
Public sector unions, but these railroads are ultimately owned, I believe, right? I'm not by private companies. This one's owned by what Berkshire Hathaway is the parent company of the parent company.
So yeah, this guy's like, I'm ideologically opposed to public unions, and these guys are not that. Oh, okay.
They have the parent company. So you know what? Yeah, they should. Employees have every right to try to get better conditions.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're demanding a share of the profits that they create through their labor. So, for example, it's worth pointing out that Union Pacific,
all profit, all wealth is derived from labor.
The largest publicly traded U.S. railroad, paid investors more than $41 billion in dividends and share buybacks over 5 years through 2001, according to one Bloomberg analysis. And in the first 6 months of 2022, the company added another $5 billion to shareholder coffers. So employers are sitting here saying, where is all this profit coming from? I'm working my weekends to make sure the trains run on time, and I'm not seeing any of the benefits of my labor. I think this will be an interesting study for a lot of Americans who haven't been following union activity and who have seen a really declining.
I think the part that really blows my mind is that Like the whole stock buyback thing was introduced as like some financial instrument to help companies have more maneuverability in the marketplace. And now it's just a vein that they tap like an addict in East Hastings Street. It doesn't matter how stripped bare this system is getting. It doesn't matter 20% of the workforce left in the last 3 years, or there's going to be a massive strike that's going to shut down the whole company. Are profits up for shareholders year after year? Let's go. Hey, COVID was good for big companies, you know? It gave them an axe to grind and gave them some leverage over labor, and yeah, they did great. You know, lots of people made lots
labor
of
force
money.
over the last 50 years. We'll see how this shakes out.
Lots of people did really great during pandemic. So Bernie Sanders, our favorite independent senator, the the big cheese, on Wednesday he blocked a Republican request to force railroad workers and companies to accept the recommendations of a nonpartisan panel to avoid a strike that would impact millions of Americans. He stood up on the floor to block the speedy approval. Can we actually find this? Let's see here. If he stood up and he said things, it should have been recorded. Sanders blocks bill. Oh, well, I guess he's blocked so many bills. Here we go. He actually live streamed it? What a beast. Let's watch some classic Bernie. You call him a king, but he's too base to believe in monarchies? Hell yeah.
Much appreciated.
He's a gentleman and a scholar.
Just a correction of the record. I think Senator Wicker mentioned before that a number of unions had approved this agreement. As I think everybody knows, there cannot be an approval of a union agreement unless the workers themselves vote on it. They have not voted on it. So, in fact, there has been no approval by any union of
we should get a bingo card because I know he's going to say, let me be clear at some point.
The agreement. But before I go to the rail situation, I did want to say a few words and put this issue into a broader context, and then I'll get to the rail situation. As I think most Americans know, today we have more income and wealth inequality than any time in the history of our country. People on top are doing phenomenally well, while working people are struggling to keep their heads above water. During the pandemic, while essential workers like those employed at the railroads, while these people put their lives on the line and died by the thousands, the billionaire class, the people on top, saw a $2 trillion increase in their wealth. Workers died by the tens of thousands. People on top became much richer. Further, as healthcare costs soar, we have over 70 million Americans who are either uninsured or underinsured. And in addition, the United States remains the only major country on earth not to guarantee paid family and medical leave. That's the broad issue that we have got to look at as we look at the situation in the rail industry. Mr. President, as I understand it, it is not accurate to say that the President of the United States has agreed to what the PBE has come up with. They have come up with a proposal. But right now,
I also found that clip that went viral of the cop saying crazy stuff. You might have already seen it, but this is wild.
PSA to everyone out there. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm probably speaking for a large majority of other officers out there. If we're driving on the freeway in our police car, get the out of the way. Get the out of the way. If you merge and we follow behind you and we merge too, you're probably in trouble. Best way to find that out is get the out of the way. I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't. You can't do that. So get the out of the way. If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over. So you might as well get the out of the way. Super simple. That's all. You're welcome.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. You hear that? She's doing us a service. Letting us know how it really works. How things really work. You watch this in like that other clip of the LAPD, saying to that guy, that black guy, like, turn around as their first words. The very first words out of their mouth. Turn around. Just turn around. Do it. Why? Because I said so. It's the exact same mentality. Two very different police from very different parts of the country. I actually don't know where she's from because it's been hidden. But saying basically the identical thing. We are respect my authority. This is Eric Cartman levels of policing. Everybody, we have what was once parody in the 1990s of Eric Cartman, the most obnoxious person, cosplaying as a cop and saying respect my authority and clubbing anyone and everyone he didn't like, is now quite literally just a TikTok, just a regular old video. Or maybe this might be Instagram. I can't really tell. No, that's TikTok. So, yeah, not good.
Now, as we speak,
absolute pig.
Labor Secretary Marty Walsh is currently meeting with the rail.
And of course, Sid has the worst take. He says she kind of cute though, which is like, okay, but no one asked.
Unions and management in trying to forge an agreement. And I happen to wish them well, and I hope that those meetings lead to an agreement that is fair and that
I actually might have some news on this story.
Is just. But let us make no mistake about what's happening in the rail industry right now, and I did not hear one word of that from my Republican colleagues.
Breaking news, everybody. The U.S. railroad strike averted with deal brokered by the Biden administration. So there you go. Saved at midnight. They literally think they are the soldiers of the king that can do anything they want. And the worst part is they aren't entirely wrong. No, essentially the courts have argued that, right? Like with qualified immunity. There's like that whole like de jure versus de facto. And the de facto part of it is that they found a legal loophole. They can do what they want. It doesn't really matter anymore. That's why you have Uvalde. That's why you have police investigating public commissioners and DAs. Like it's getting off the rails at this point. Okay, so let's listen to this story. I'm just gonna put on a bit of tunage. I also have a poem as a palate cleanser from James Baldwin. Major U.S. railroads and unions secured a tentative deal on Thursday after 20 hours of intense talks brokered by President Joe Biden's administration to avert a rail shutdown that could have hit food and fuel supplies across the country and beyond. I.e. Canada? You could have just said Canada. Come on, Reuters. We're right here. If they accept the deal that was announced at about 5 a.m., workers whose pay had been frozen will win double-digit increases, so at least 10%, and will be allowed to seek certain types of medical care without fear of being punished, the union leader said. The agreement includes an immediate 14% wage rise. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. 14%? That sounds like it handles inflation for this year and for a few years going back, which is probably why it's so high. Biden, who planned to greet federal negotiators before speaking about the deal, said in the written statement that the agreement was, quote, a win for tens of thousands of rail workers who worked tirelessly through the pandemic to ensure that America's families and communities got deliveries of what have kept us going during these difficult years. It's honestly really based that Biden, if Biden gets this through, it's going to be huge. It's like he's taking on, like if he gets it done and the workers are pretty happy with it, like that's a huge political victory for him. He can actually turn that into, hey, I'm, working class kind of thing. Unions whose members bitterly rejected prior proposals will now vote on the agreement. Even if those votes fail, a rail strike that could have happened as soon as a minute past midnight on Friday has been averted for several weeks due to the standard language included in such a deal, a person familiar with the negotiations said. Biden's Labor Secretary, Marty Walsh, hosted contract talks in Washington that ran for 20 consecutive hours between unions representing 115,000 workers in railroads, including Union Pacific, BNSF, CSX, Norfolk Southern, and Kansas City Southern. Officials are expected to host a news briefing later on Thursday. Failing to reach a deal before the deadline would have cleared the way for workers to legally strike. A rail shutdown could have frozen almost 30% of U.S. cargo shipments by weight. Stoked inflation cost the U.S. economy as much as $2 billion per day and unleashed a cascade of transport woes affecting the U.S. energy, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, and retail sectors. Railroad shares paired initial pre-market gains after mixed economic data, with Union Pacific up 1.9% in trading after the market owned, and CSX down some percentage. Lines go up and down. U.S. natural gas futures dropped about 8% after okay, I don't care. A Union Pacific car is parked at the Canadian Pacific Railway Toronto Yard in Scarborough. Oh, that's just an image. Dirt. The impact of a shutdown would have stretched beyond U.S. borders because trains link the U.S. to Canada and Mexico and provide vital connections to massive ships that ferry goods from around the world. Negotiations between the companies and a dozen unions had stretched for more than 2 years, leading Biden to appoint an emergency board in July to help break the impasse. Biden personally called Walsh and negotiators on Wednesday evening to prod them toward a deal, telling them once again to recognize the harm that a shutdown would have on families, farmers, and businesses, according to a person aware of the investigations. National Retail Federation CEO Matthew Shea thanked Biden's administration for intervening, adding in a statement that his group is, quote, relieved and cautiously optimistic. Awesome. That's great. That's awesome. It sounds like a huge win, honestly. Seems like a win to me. Emily Score, CEO of the biofuel trade group Growth Energy, also praised the deal and noted that much of the country's ethanol moves by rail. Freight railroads had halted transportation of hazardous goods, including chlorine for water purification and ammonia for fertilizer, as well as shipments of refrigerated food and other goods that use rail and at least one other mode of transport. Their goal was to prevent cargo from being stranded in unsafe locations. Job cuts. The railroad industry slashed almost 30% of its workforce over the last 6 years, cutting pay and other costs as they increased profits, stock buybacks, and dividends for investors. This shit drives me up the walls. Nothing more annoying than hearing the story of like workers being forced to go on strike because they're having to do more with less as the company's raking in profits. It's so gross on so many levels. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's the worst. No bueno. Not good. So yeah, we're gonna curse that. Okay. Moving on. And of course, this is Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, which owns BNSF, rose 9% in the most recent quarter. So he's making crazy money. 9% profit? That's insane. The number of U.S. railroad workers has dropped from over 600,000 in 1970 to about 150,000 in 2022, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, due to technology and cost cutting. The result is that many industry workers are on call at all hours, waiting to respond at short notice to work for days at a time. That's insane. The latest deal follows some earlier recommendations of the president's emergency mediators. It includes a 24% wage increase over a 5-year period from 2020 through 2024, as well as $1,000 lump sum payments in each of 5 years. Huh. So they're just screw you, pay me more money, and it worked. Nice. Good to see. Good to see, everybody. President is not yet out of the woods. Oh, wait, here we go. Biden, who's called himself the most union-friendly president and attacked companies for raking in excessive profits, praised the deal he said would give workers, quote, better pay, improved working conditions, and peace of mind around their healthcare costs. Not out of the woods with supply chain labor issues. Some 22,000 union workers at 29 West Coast ports that handle almost 40% of U.S. imports are also in high-stakes labor contract negotiations. Dang. So crisis averted, everybody. Crisis averted. All right. Yeah, jeez. So here's the really brief James Baldwin poem. Untitled. Lord, when you send the rain, think about it, please, a little. Do not get carried away by the sound of falling water, the marvelous light on the falling water. I am beneath that water. It falls with great force, and the light blinds me to the light. That was pretty good, huh? Yeah. What do you think? Okay. Pretty sure same problem as yesterday. So I'm gonna end stream. I'll try again tomorrow with fresh content. It's F5 Friday. Should have a bunch of stuff going, and if not, the Alex Jones trial is still very interesting to me, and I know that there's some Sneeko stuff happening. I was on Rhizome's stream last night, and yeah, the Sneeko arc seemed very interesting and ridiculous. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. It's good to see y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed the news, hanging, chilling, all that jazz. And yeah, hopefully if I have my stuff together, we'll pull off Rich Food for Poor Folk maybe this Sunday. And we'll see. I got a lot of setup to do. I got a new Mac that needs a lot of love and care. But all right, I'm gonna go have lunch, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you later.